Going to college for the first time can be exciting, whether you're looking at options for what to do after high school graduation or possibly thinking about a career change. One of our local community colleges might be just the answer for you. Find out more next on Connecting Our Community. Hi, I'm Pat Shoemaker. Welcome to Connecting Our Community. Our guest tonight is Jamin Bartolomeo, the Associate Dean of Student Services at the Germantown campus of Montgomery College. Welcome, Jamin. As an Associate Dean, first of all, what is that?
Sure. Thanks for having me. There's a lot of responsibilities and a lot of hats that I wear as the Associate Dean. Let me tell you how I got there first. I first started in Montgomery College in 2006. And I was actually a counselor and advisor at the Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus. So I worked with students on a one-on-one basis. And around 2012, I was offered the opportunity to work as the Associate Dean. So still working in student services and working with students. Recently, about 2 years ago, we reorganized. And before we reorganized, we were campus-based. So student services was run at Germantown, Rockville, and Tacoma Park separately. Now we're working as a one college approach, and as a result of that, they've split up the areas within student services to be looked at college-wide. And what I mean by that is, so for example, the assessment centers on each campus was run by each individual dean. Now they run under one dean college-wide for consistency, to make sure there's a common student experience, to make sure that the guidelines and the rules are all the same and the student is getting the same service at Rockville that they are at Germantown, that they are at Tacoma Park Silver Spring. So part of my job, I'm in what's called the Access Student Services area. And under Access comes recruitment, welcome centers, our response center or call center, the assessment centers, and then a new program called ACES, which is Achieving Collegiate and Excellence and Success. And that's really working with our students in the high school, MCPS primarily, and getting those students who may not be targeted for college and actually targeting them to come to Montgomery College. And then we have an articulation agreement that they move from MCPS to Montgomery College, and then ultimately Shady Grove. So that's my primary focus.
For the ACES program, do you target, is it an early awareness? Do you go into elementary schools, junior high, that level, or do you start at high school?
Right now we're starting with the 11th and 12th grade. And we just recently hired 8 academic coaches last year who have been working in designated MCPS schools. And so our first crop, if you will, of students, which is very exciting, are preparing to come to Montgomery College next year. And these students are going to work over the summer in sessions on prepping for college and then ultimately taking courses. So we're very excited. We're hoping to hire some more coaches. We're hoping to expand the program to the rest of the county and to be able to offer that to as many students as possible.
And so through that particular program, do you target minority students, students who are first generation, or is it everybody?
Yeah, it's students who, it's an application-based process, so there are some variables that there are different requirements that students have to meet. Financial is one of them. Minority status, first generation students is really who the students are targeting. Yeah, I mean the program is targeting.
Yeah. And so your first crop, as you say, will be coming in the fall, starting in the fall?
Yes, and we're excited.
That's really cool.
So we've got coaches in MCPS and working at 8 different schools, and now we're about to hire a coach to work at Montgomery College so that it's a kind of a handoff. So we're working with them throughout the process. And then finally, once they want to go to the universities of Shady Grove, and that's not a requirement, by the way. That's a misnomer that they have to go to Shady Grove. No, but we'd like them to, ultimately we'd like them to get a bachelor's degree. But once we get to that point, there'll be a coach hired at the universities at Shady Grove to help them matriculate to the next levels.
So will they be with the same person perhaps as a coach through their high school years into MC and then on, or will they be handed off? Will it be a group approach so that they see everybody everywhere?
It's going to be a handoff, but just because I leave the high school, it's not that I won't ever see that coach again, but the services that that coach is providing may not be applicable to me as a student, as an ACES student. So sure, I'll work with the coach at that. When I'm at Montgomery College, I'll work with that coach. I can certainly go back to my previous coach, but no, it's not like you're cut off. You can't talk to anybody ever again.
And are you going for male and female students, or only the male students, or?
It's both male and female students, and so from what I hear from the coaches and the statistics, they are bringing in amazing results and having a great turnout. So it's very exciting. Yeah. This is all very new to the college. This is the first year. We're just wrapping up. Yeah. So we're excited to look at some data in the past and see how we can move forward.
Yeah, so that's great. And then will they be sort of mentored or tutored or whatever while they're in school? Will they be given extra help with advising and tutoring and in classes and things like that as well?
You got it. Yeah. These coaches will act as a help for tutor and help them get support through our academic support services. So it's like their counselor and advisor, although we do have separate counselors and advisors who can help them plan academic goals, transfer goals, but this will be more like a caseload. So the counselor or the coach in the college will be keeping tabs on the student and working with them and constantly following up and saying, it's time to register for next semester. How are you doing? Are you studying? Are you doing the things that you need to do to prepare yourself for the next level? And it's just fascinating because we haven't had a program like that before. Well, we've had a counseling and advising office, and I was a part of that. Yeah. I have to tell you that the 60,000 students that come through the school, when you only have between 60 and 100 counselors, it's hard to do a caseload. And so we're looking at unique ways right now of a developmental advising program to actually start making more intentional relationships with our students. So similar to what ACES is doing.
Yeah, and do you bring in, for example, with the first generation students, do you bring in their families, their parents, and have the whole
Oh yes,
shebang?
It's highly encouraged that parents and family are a part of the process. Many of the coaches are working on programming throughout the year to talk to parents about what this means, what the cost of college is, I mean, how this can be beneficial to these students, where a lot of these students never thought they were ever going to go to college. And that's the whole point of ACES, is that you can go to college, and that's what's exciting. And so that's why I'm excited about it, because it's this whole group of people who, they
were left by the side of the road, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm a loss of words, because I'm surprised we haven't been doing this before, and it's just a great program. So I'm excited to see it flourish.
Yeah. And do you also help them to figure out what programs they want? In other words, if you find somebody who may not ever have been thinking about going to college, and now you sort of encourage them to go to college, maybe they don't want to be a doctor, maybe they want to be an air conditioning mechanic. I mean, do you do that kind of thing as well, or is it all geared to?
There's no requirement, and this is for all of our students at Montgomery College. We don't require you to come in with you have to know what you want to do. That's the neat thing about the community colleges, as you know, is that you can explore what you want to do. You don't have to come in with this preconceived notion that I have to be a doctor and lawyer. No, you get to take some choices, make your own choices, unlike in high school where they say, here are some core curricular that you have to meet the state requirements. We encourage the students to explore, not too much so that it's all over the place, but we guide them and we offer them career planning, transfer planning, and in conjunction with our counseling and advising department. So we're helping them make informed decisions, and that's really a key of the program.
Yeah. And what would you consider a success story, so to speak, if you have somebody who graduates from MC and then doesn't go on, but maybe becomes that air conditioning repairman or whatever? What is your idea of a success story through this program?
My idea of a success story would be that the student completed his or her goal. And so while yes, we'd like them to obtain a bachelor's or a master or an associate's. If their goal is to get a certificate, great. That's success to us. If their goal is to take a few classes, if their goal was to learn a trade, perfect. That's better than what they had before, which was nothing. So while it runs the gamut, and getting anything done, completed, is great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and has there been any resistance in the school system or with families, or because especially for first-generation students,
Sure.
if they have no background, if their parents didn't go to college, I find that sometimes parents don't push their children because they're unsure. They don't know what it's going to involve. They don't want to be left out and not be able to help their children as much as possible. So they would almost hold their children, as what I've seen, they would almost hold their children back so as not to embarrass themselves or put them or their child in a position. And we have 30 seconds to have you answer that.
Okay. Well, I think with any new program, there's going to be some resistance, and there's some kinks and bumps in the road, but I really have to attribute the success to our academic coaches. They've been really good to work one-on-one with parents and students and to really explain the power behind the ACES program. And sure, there are some fears out there, but I think they're able to work with them very well.
That's great.
So.
Well, we do have another half of the show coming up. We're going to take a short break, and Jamin and I will be back to talk about perhaps if you're returning to school or going for the first time as an adult. So please stay with us through the break, and we'll be right back to Connecting Our Community.
It's time to join forces. Get energized and fuel up right. It's coming. Because starting today, every kid in America has a mission. Bring out the action hero in you. Be part of the greatest action movie ever. The first movie that puts you in the action. Show us how you train and eat like an action hero. Join in at actionheroalliance.com.
Oh, sweetheart. Gonna give you a hand?
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
The pain will not control us, because arthritis can't beat us if we beat it first. In the fight against arthritis, you need a weapon. What's yours? Visit the Arthritis Foundation at fightarthritispain.org.
The forest is a magical place for your whole family, with animals and fun all around. So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hi, I'm Pat Shoemaker, and you're watching Connecting Our Community. Welcome back from our break. We're talking with Jamin Bartolomeo, who's the Associate Dean at Montgomery College. And the subject that we were talking about before of the first generation students, the ACES program, is wonderful. But I know that Montgomery has a lot more. You have 60,000 students or so. So what kinds of things do you offer for perhaps someone who's a displaced homemaker or a displaced worker, someone who needs to, after 20 years of working at a job, needs to retrain, find something new to do? Are there special programs or things, incentives?
Sure, there's a wealth of programs that we offer for returning adults or what's called non-traditional students. One of the programs we have actually out of the Germantown campus is called MC Pass, P-A-S-S. and it stands for Programs for Adult Student Success. And basically it's a center where students exclusively go and work with a coordinator / counselor and advisor to work one-on-one and to create a plan. And so they don't have to sit with the traditional students, and it's a more welcoming environment. So it's not a lot of hustle and bustle. It's, I can make an appointment, I can see you, talk to you about some plans, and move from there. In the past, we had some cohorts where adults were working together through some night courses, and that worked really well, and I'm hoping that we have that program again.
Yeah.
But that's just one program for example, at Germantown. It's hoping to expand to Tacoma Park, Silver Spring, and Rockville. The other program that we have is a portfolio program. So students, adult students can come in and create a portfolio through one of our student services courses. And what I mean by that is they can talk about their previous experiences, document it in a portfolio, and then submit it to a committee, and then the committee would review it and then give them credit for past working experiences. So it's not like they have to start at ground zero. They can say, I've been a nurse, or I've done this, and I'm interested in getting a degree or certificate or what have you. And here's my experience. What do you have to offer? And so they work together over a semester, and then they can continue taking courses.
Wow, that's great. Is there a charge for that?
It's a reduced rate charge, but yes, it's like taking a course, and they would receive credit for it actually, and then they get that portfolio and all the credits that are approved through the portfolio process.
That's phenomenal. And is that restricted to 55 and older, or 40, or can anybody do that?
Initially, there's an interview process to make sure that students are applicable for it. I mean, as an 18-year-old student, I might not have enough experience to be able to say, yeah, I can create a portfolio. But the office, the Workforce Development and Continuing Education Office, works with students and then kind of filters those students out appropriately.
Yeah, I'm thinking that would be a wonderful thing for veterans.
Right.
Coming back with any kind of experience, get out of the Navy, the Air Army, whatever. You've got however many years of experience, but no degree, no formal classes or credits. That would be phenomenal.
And veterans are encouraged to bring the transcripts of all the training that they've done. And if they bring it to the admissions office, it's like the same thing. There's no formalized class, but they can get prior credits for some of the knowledge that they've obtained through some of the armed services. We also have veteran services. So on each campus, we have a designated counselor and advisor who can work with veterans. We have a veterans office, so students can go to these specific sites and talk to somebody about VA benefits, which can be very complicated, especially when it comes down to getting paid. And those people are trained in working all of the complex paperwork, I should say, to make sure that the student is financially supported by the armed services. We also have a program called Combat to College. And this program kind of creates a cohort of veterans. And so it provides programs where veterans can get together and talk about issues, take classes together, and they even have special activities. For example, there are gym hours just for veterans so that they can kind of hang out, talk amongst one another. It's no other students, no other faculty staff for an hour or so a day, and kind of bond together. So we've really taken a nice approach to supporting our veterans.
Do you have a large veteran population?
We do, and
being so close to Washington.
We do, right. And at Tacoma Park, Silver Spring, when we were close to Walter Reed, now the hospital has since moved. But yes, we had a lot of veterans come in, and they wanted to take advantage of the benefits that they were afforded. So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's a really interesting thing to have exclusive hours for veterans only, and so they bond together. Is there a counselor or somebody from the MC staff in any way? If they have
there, like I said, on each campus there is 1 or 2 counselors, and in some cases a disability support counselor is also available just in case for whatever reason to support those students. In fact, on 2 out of 3 of the campuses there's a veterans club. And so it's run by veterans for veterans. So they kind of get together and talk about, hey, what did you do, and what did you do and how are you feeling and how can I support you?
Yeah.
And it's really a nice release from the kind of the day-to-day stuff that they're dealing with, especially with school and you know, and how to acclimate and get back into it.
Right.
So the program has been very successful, and we're very happy about it.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And moving backward just one
Sure.
step to the people who are in that portfolio situation.
Yes.
When they actually get into classes after doing the portfolio, I presume the portfolio is something that they do one-on-one with an advisor? Is that the way it is?
It's a class, and so in that class they work with the professor to create
So
this portfolio.
Everybody so it would be a class of 15, 20 people, and every one of them is in that exact same portfolio circumstance. And then once they complete that, is there a next semester exclusively portfolio, or at that point do they take classes with a mixture of the whole population at the school?
So it's based it's based on what's approved through their portfolio. So the portfolio is reviewed by a committee, and then the committee would say, here are the courses based on your experiences or credits that will allow you to have, and then they would work with an advisor or that professor, who's usually a counselor, to say, here's the next steps, or what types of things are you interested in looking at? Let's look at this degree, because a lot of the credits that you've obtained through this portfolio process give you a leg up on X, Y, Z degree. And so it's not just okay, you're done, move on. We really do like to connect them to the next steps.
Yeah. And has that been a program around for a while? Have you seen any results that you could say, we've had 75 people graduate or whatever?
I don't know the specifics on it. It's run through our workforce development and continuing education department, but they seem to have a few folks come in every semester and work with them to get that prior knowledge turned into credit. So it's exciting.
Great. That's a program I had never heard of. And do you have a lot of people coming in from other counties because of that unique program, or has the word not gotten out enough that people know about it? Of course, after the show they will.
Yeah, right. It's a hidden gem, if you will. So I can't say that it's as robust and as flourished as much as we wanted it to, but it's there. But I haven't seen it I haven't seen the crowds coming from across the borders, unfortunately. But maybe as a result of the show.
Exactly. I can see it now. And what other programs do you have that might be targeted to people who think, I could never go to college? I just never could. Are there other things for people, again, who are not in high school, perhaps not in the displaced worker category, but just somebody who might have flipped on and caught this program and said, you know what, I like his enthusiasm, I'm going to try to go to college, but I have no idea what to do?
Sure, and we, as I said in the first segment, there's no prerequisite that you have to know exactly what you want to do. And our frontline counseling and advising folks are those first people who can say, let's talk to you about what you want to do and where you want to go. And if it becomes so complex, we actually have career counselors and advisors who can work with students to say, let's take a strong interest inventory or the Myers-Briggs type inventory. And I understand everyone might not know what that means, but they're batteries and assessments that can help students kind of figure out maybe what they're interested in and lead them on their way. We pride ourselves on the fact that the departments are very open to having students just come in and chat with folks and say, I might be interested in chemistry, or I might want to be a doctor. Can you tell me what it means to be that? And oh, I have to work with blood and guts? No thanks. I have to do chemistry? Okay, I don't want to do it. There's a number of programs. We have a career transfer center that also helps students kind of take a look at, here's where you are and here's where you can be, and kind of maps it out very realistically for students. So those are some of the resources that we have for our returning students.
And do you have a huge mixture of traditional and non-traditional, or are you seeing more non-traditional students with the economy and different things like that?
The last statistic I saw was that we had about 1,100 non-traditional adult students. So, and I believe that number is rising. And so it's very exciting, and we're adapting to that. And that was a result of the MC Pass program, which has been in existence for a while, but now it's really starting to pick up.
Right, yeah.
So yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited, and I don't even go to Montgomery College, but, but this has been fascinating, Jamin. Thank you so
Great.
much for being with us.
Sure.
For more information about Montgomery College, you can call 240-567-5000, or you can visit the Montgomery College website, montgomerycollege.edu. I should know that. You can also go to the Connecting Our Community blog on the mymcmedia.org website. Thank you for joining us tonight. I really learned a lot, and I hope that you all did too. Thank you for watching Connecting Our Community, and please join us next time. Thank you so much.